What's up, YouTube? What's going on? What's going on? Hey, I'm gonna drop some heat every day. I don't have no special guest today. Baby girl decided she gonna have a sleepover and just, do her thing elsewhere. Other kids doing what they do, and I'm in here doing what I do, dropping knowledge and talking about things that a lot of people don't talk about, especially when you go through the journey that I'm still currently on, just in the latter stages of it. So last night, I was in a bit of a funk, mentally, laying down and just deciding to write how I would feel. And I think this journal entry really kind of put things into perspective, and it helped me quite a bit to process some of the feelings that I didn't understand that I was having at the time. But it does now that I've had a day to think about it, that I've had the opportunity to really just say, huh, I get it now. From a psychological standpoint, I think it's genius. But I don't know. I'll let you guys hear it. I'll talk about it, and let's see where we go from there. So my journal entry for last night at like damn near midnight, I think I miss being fat sometimes. Fuck. I can't believe I'm about to write this shit. But sometimes I think I miss being fat. There. I fucking said it. And before anybody takes this shit and run with it, no, I don't mean I miss being 315 fucking pounds. That's not what the fuck I'm saying, right? I don't miss being tired. I don't miss sweating for no fucking reason. I don't miss looking for the biggest shirt in the store and praying that that motherfucker fits loose enough to hide my stomach. I don't miss strategically standing behind my kids and family pictures. I don't miss looking at a chair and wondering if that bitch gonna hold me up or just break and embarrass me. I don't miss seeing a picture somebody took of me and thinking, for one, why the fuck they took that picture of me? And do I really look like that? I don't miss none of that shit. But I think I miss how fucking safe it was. And that's weird to say because being fat was miserable, but I knew how to be miserable. I was fucking good at it. I knew exactly who 315-pound Courtney Deshawn Reed was. I knew his excuses. I knew what he ate, which was every fucking thing. I knew what time he was going to order the food, which was anytime I wanted to order some food. I knew he was going to say, I'll start Monday. I knew he was going to avoid the camera. I knew he was going to suck in his stomach when somebody took a picture. Like that shit was actually going to fucking help me in that picture. I know that motherfucker. I knew that motherfucker. I had been him for years. There was comfort in knowing exactly how the story was going to end. Wake up, be unhappy, eat, feel better for a little while, eat some more, feel guilty, promise myself that I'm going to change, and then eat some more. Go to sleep, repeat that shit. It was fucking horrible and much more painful, but it was familiar. And maybe a familiar pain is safer than unfamiliar responsibility. That's a bar. Because this new motherfucker, I don't know him yet. Everybody else seems to know this motherfucker. The crazy part is people tell me, bro, you an inspiration. You changed my life. I started because of you. Damn, you look good. Man, you look amazing. Teach me what you did. And I'm sitting here thinking, y'all know I'm still figuring this shit out too, right? So what? I lost 120 plus pounds. But there wasn't some fucking ceremony where they handed me a manual and said, congratulations, Sean. Here's how to be the new you. My body changed. My life changed. The way people look at me changed. The way women look at me and approach me completely changed. The way men speak to me changed. The fucking way I walk into a room, that shit was one of the first to change. But somewhere in my head, I'm still trying to play catch up. And sometimes I think about the 315-pound me. Not because I want him back. Fuck that shit. But because I knew how to be him. Nobody expected a fucking thing from that version of me. Nobody asked him how to lose weight. Nobody called him an inspiration. Probably an inspiration on how to get big. Nobody gave a fuck if he skipped the gym. Nobody noticed if he gained 5 pounds. Hell, at 315 pounds, 5 pounds was a fucking rounded number at that point. It was a rounded error, It was crazy. But now I gained 5 pounds and my brain starts a fucking FBI investigation. What did I eat? How much sodium was in that shit? Did I drink enough water? Did I hit my steps? Did I fucking breathe too close to a fucking carbohydrate? Yeah, I can laugh at that shit. But that's really what it is, and that shit ain't funny. because I'm starting to realize something. Maybe being fat was my hiding place. Maybe my weight gave me somewhere to disappear. I could blame my confidence on the weight. I could blame the clothes on my weight. I could blame why I didn't take my shirt off on my weight. I could blame why I felt invisible on my weight. I could blame so much shit on being a fat fucker. Then I lost all that shit. And now, what the fuck do I hide behind? That's not familiar territory for me. And that's the part that nobody fucking tells you. Everybody teaches you how to lose weight, calorie deficit, protein, step, lift weight, drink water, sleep. All right, cool. But nobody tells you what the fuck to do when the person you hated in the mirror completely disappears. And then you realize you still have to live with this motherfucker standing behind him. Me. I'm still here. My insecurities didn't weigh 120 pounds. My fucked up portions of my childhood didn't weigh 120 pounds. My marriage problems and relationship problems didn't weigh 120 pounds. My fear of failure didn't weigh 120 plus pounds. My need to feel accepted didn't weigh 120 plus pounds. I did. And when the weight left, all that other shit stayed. So yeah, sometimes I think I miss being a fat fucker. Not the body, but the safety, the familiarity, knowing exactly who the fuck I was. Because this new version of me, everybody keeps telling me they proud of him. Everybody keeps saying he inspired them. Everybody keeps telling him he looks different. And the truth is, I'm still learning how to fucking be this guy. Some days I feel powerful. Some days I look in the mirror and think, damn, that is me. And other days, I feel like I'm wearing somebody else's fucking body, waiting for somebody to realize and call me an imposter. I don't have all this shit figured out just yet. Maybe that's why the old me feels safe sometimes. Not because I want him back. I don't want that fat fucker back at all. But because I already know how his story ended. This version of me, I have no fucking clue. And maybe, just fucking maybe, that's the scariest part about losing all this fucking weight that nobody warned me about. Yeah, guys, I wrote that shit last night. I literally sat and I thought about how I felt and what was the real reason I felt this way. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to go back to being a fat fucker, like at all. Like I don't like none of the shit that I experienced when I was a big guy, but that safety and that familiarity, it's like home sometimes. You know, I went to the store to see Ali today. You know, I try to see him once a week. The dealership only like 15, 20 minutes away from the house. And while he's running a multi-million-dollar business, he always want to take time to see his good friend. So I come up there, we chop it up, we talk, and I ain't seen his brother Raheem in a minute. I ain't seen him since April. And then he comes like, damn, he's like, you done metamorphosized again. I'm like, what you mean? He's like, motherfucker, you went from a fucking D lineman to a tight end, now to a wide receiver. What's next? A kicker? So I was like, nah, man. I was like, the journey ain't over for me until I get to where I want to go. Even then, that's gonna change because I like my routine. You know, I like taking command of my day. I like feeling like I have the illusion of control when I wake up when I don't want to and go to the gym. All this other shit is a side effect. And he asked me like, well, why is it so mental for you? I was like, well, for one, I don't let a lot of shit bother me no more. It's like I'll take a deep breath. If something really bothers me, I'll take a deep breath, turn my head to the side, really think about whether I want to respond or not. And then I just say, fuck it. It ain't worth my time and energy. I got other shit to worry about. So it gives you a sense of control over your emotions and a sense of control over yourself. I can't lie, I fucked up a few times. I've gotten emotionally like pissed off and charged, and I give a motherfucker the business. But I still have to learn to say that in a different way. You know, like I got a major life decision coming up right now, right? And I think the old version of me would have just jumped on it immediately. Like, okay, bam, your life already fucked up. Pack up, move to Chicago, just completely restart. But I'm not doing that this time. I'm actually taking time to think about it. You know what, sir? I appreciate the opportunity, but I need a couple weeks to think about this. I know I got shit going on in my life right now, but I have to make the best decision for me and my kids. So, yes, I didn't jump at the opportunity. I actually thought about being in this new version of myself and how he would operate. How would the 10% body fat version of Sean operate? How would the emotionally secure Sean operate in this situation? not hearing big numbers, not hearing the title and saying, oh, I'm going to go and get it. Nah, let's pump the brakes on this for a minute. Let me put some logic behind it. Take my emotions out of it. That familiarity and safety from the old Sean, I literally just would have just, hey, look, this is what it's going to be. I'll take it, right? Not negotiating, not seeing if I can get more, not doing anything. But because the standard was there, I would have just said, hey, this is what's going to happen. Whether I'm going to be a single man or not moving to fucking Chicago, right? I'm not doing that this time because I got this 17-year-old son who is like, bruh, now think about this. And I got these daughters who I got to think about too. And it makes me feel better knowing that I can legit say no and walk away from it and I'll be cool. But the old version of me would have had so much resentment towards everybody else for saying, oh, they holding me back. That's not the case, right? So that version of me, that 315-pound version of me, I was so comfortable with being miserable that I was comfortable in the comfort of that, if that makes sense. You know, that shit is true. Guys, I would literally stand behind the kids and just use the fact, oh, I'm tall, you know, the smaller kids need to be in the front, you know, shit like that. Even in like a company photo or any kind of photo, thank God I'm 6'2", 6'3", I can just, you know, stand in the back and be taller. But then when you look at the picture, you still see a rounded faced motherfucker who didn't look desirable. You know, I look at these pictures, man, I had dark spots everywhere. My face was puffy and swollen. Couldn't really, I just didn't recognize myself, right? But now I don't give a fuck about taking a picture. Shit, I'm taking pictures now. You know what I mean? So it's a great feeling nonetheless. But this is the shit that nobody tells you about, because when your mindset shifts, yeah, it's gonna shift to the new you, right? But you still have to deal with the old habits of the older version of you. It's holding on so bad, like it really is. Certain situations that I go through, I want to seek that comfort that the old me used to seek, but I fight it now. It's like, no, fuck that. Dude, handle this shit head on. There is no reason at all for you to avoid any more conflict moving forward. I ain't got to start the shit, but if something come to me, I need to fucking address it. You know what I mean? Instead of just avoiding it to keep people happy or avoiding shit just to keep the peace, fuck peace. That old version of me, he wanted peace because he wanted the people please. He was a nice guy. This version of me, I could really, truly give a fuck about your feelings. If you could fuck up some shit and expect me to carry it, I'm so sorry. You dealing with the wrong one these days, right? Now, that's the part about the new me that I fucking love, that I'm not taking no shit, and I will set a fucking village on fire and just stand there and watch it burn and be like, well, I didn't start it. I didn't start the fire, but I'm not finna fucking extinguish it either. You know, when you make those changes, you really have to understand that the old version of you would not approve of that. Or the old version of you would kind of be proud because you stepped into something that that person could never be. I live this shit every day. I promise you, there is not a day where I'm not tested by the old version of me. Not so much with the food, because that's easy for me now. Guys, I went into fucking Kroger today. I was a bit upset that I spent $133 on like 12 items. That shit blew my fucking mind. But I went into Kroger. I went and I was just looking in the ice cream aisle. I was like, oh shit, Bluebell done fucked up. 333 calories, 30 grams of protein for some ice cream. I got the fuck up out of that aisle quick, because they got my favorite, that butter pecan flavor or the vanilla. I had to get the fuck on, because I would have bought that shit. And I was like, But see, that's the discipline. The new version of myself is cool with saying no to the food because that shit doesn't serve me. If I'm gonna eat a treat, motherfucker, I'm gonna eat a treat. I'm gonna eat some banana bread with some melted peanut butter glaze on top of that bitch with walnuts, dark chocolate chips, and blueberries inside that motherfucker. So if I'm gonna eat a treat, I'm a fucking treat, right? I ain't gonna do that tease me shit. How Cameron said it, hey, suck it or not. Don't tease me, man. I'm not gonna fall for that. But anyway, I digress. I get my fat-free yogurt, which was the Fage, and I'm super pissed off about that because I still can't find good European yogurt here. Granted, I'm not in Europe anymore, but that was the best Greek yogurt I've ever had in my fucking life. Texture, taste, and I just can't find it here. But we make do with what we got. We get the best, healthier options, and we do what we got to do until we can do what we want to do. Go get the yogurt. Go down the aisle. I'm seeing Doritos making protein chips now. I said, this gotta be some devil shit because I know these motherfuckers. And then you look at the macros, 150 calories for 10 grams of protein. I said, man, get the fuck out of here. Let me go on past this aisle. So I'm going past the aisle, then I go down there to get some fish. And I was like, you know what? I don't want the frozen salmon. Let me get some salmon. So I see a whole big old damn near rack of it. I said, hey, lady, please let me get that one. And I see some salmon burgers. I would like to try those. She was like, oh, you know what? I can give you 4 more for free because they're due to expire in a couple of days. And I can make an executive decision. I don't think she does that to me if I'm a fat ass. Straight up, because she made conversation with me about not bodybuilding, but just staying in shape and stuff. And I told her later, I'm not a bodybuilder. I just lift weights and eat right. And this ain't even the beginning. So, we had a great conversation. Older lady, super cool, gave me free salmon. And then the other one I had to pay for, that was like $40. But then just walking by all the goofy shit, walking by the cupcakes, walking by the cookies, shit that I would have loaded up in my basket a year ago. I would just loaded all that shit up and like, yeah, the kids gonna eat it. And if the kids don't eat it, I'm gonna fuck with it too. Man, look, walking by that shit, it didn't even fucking bother me. I was like, man, I don't need none of this shit. So I went over there by the fresh fruit, got me some watermelon. And then I was like, all right, cool. When I got about 4 stocks of bananas because I think some of my kids secretly eating my bananas. And I told them I need that for my pre-workout. But I don't know, I'm gonna pull some camera footage and see who's sneaking my bananas. It might be the baby. Because y'all saw how devious she was. How cute she is. She like to take stuff. So I'm gonna have to watch that footage to see if she taking my bananas. But anyway, I got all the stuff that I needed. And I don't have an issue with this new part of me saying no to the bad food. I pass by Andy's custard every day. I pass by Burger King, Popeyes, Sonic, McDonald's, all that shit. And it just doesn't turn me on no more. It doesn't excite me. I'm super excited about a cheap meal that's 100% healthy. It's just more calories. That's how I know I'm locked the fuck in. And I know I'm going to get to where I want to go because that's how I think. That old version of me that still hangs on, I think he understands now. Like, yeah, he ain't finna fuck around with this food. And even if I do fuck up and get some samosas, it's a spot in like Louisville that the Indian samosas, they good in motherfucker. I wouldn't even drop them in grease. I put them hoes in the oven or the air fryer. And if I'm gonna deem myself eating bad that day, at least that'll be the healthier option for it. And I think that old part of me is like, yeah, I can't tempt him with the food. I can scroll on TikTok all day and say, oh, I want to eat this. But in real life, I'm like, man, I'm not eating that bullshit. Even if I want to fuck something up for the day, I'm just not going to eat it because that doesn't align with who I am no more. It doesn't align with my goal self at 10%. 180 or 175 or whatever that's going to fucking be, right? So that alignment is perfect for me. The other parts I'm trying to get aligned, not necessarily my temper, but how my mind has changed. I needed to keep up with certain parts because I'm still no nonsense. I'm still not going to take your bullshit. I just think it's worse right now because I won't just say nothing. I just move. And I don't want to give you an explanation on why I'm doing the shit I'm doing. That's not a good place to be because you don't process things the way you need to when you just, okay, I got you. And you just go about things. I don't want to do that shit. So I have to tell myself constantly, hey, man, just think about this. Like with this job with Chicago, hey, man, just think about this, man. Like it's so much that could fuck up or fall apart because of you in resentment. My son straight up told me, Dad, if you make me go with you, I resent you because I want to go to college here in Texas. I want to stay here in Texas. Okay. I mean, you 17, you damn near grown. You can make that decision, but he's still my baby. You know what I mean? He is still my baby. And I'll do anything to protect him and his sisters. But in order to do that, I need to be present. Regardless of the situation what's going on, I still have to be present for them, right? And I easily feel it'll just be a better move in general. Hey, I can just start completely over. Just not build myself up because I'm already pretty built up. But if I'm going to start over, I can start over there. New city, new place, new me. But I don't really need to run from my problems. I just thought it would be dope just to start a new career in Chicago, right? But it's a lot to think about. And it's weighing heavy on me emotionally. And that's why I said the old Sean would have just jumped at it. You said, it's how much money and the title? Me, not so much. It's like, all that shit is cool, but do I really need to make that much money because my lifestyle don't call for that. And to my kids, it look like, damn, Dad hasn't changed. He's still leaving this place to go to this place to make that much more money. He's still leaving this place to that place to get a bigger title so he can grow his career. And I never want them to feel like I'm putting them second. But that old Sean, that 315-pound version of Sean, he would have jumped at that opportunity because that's his way of providing. That's his way of giving. And guys, I've come to that conclusion. I'm not that guy no more. I fucked that up, you know? And when you lose that much weight, you don't know how to handle some shit. Like, I still don't know how to handle the level of intellect that a lot of people fucking lack. I don't even make jokes about it no more. I just won't say shit. Like, God dang. And now that I can think a lot more clearly, I already knew how bright I was in certain things, but I don't feel like I gotta play dumb no more. I know the answer to a lot of things. I just want to make people feel like they helping me by giving me the answer or doing shit for me. I don't necessarily need to do that shit no more, because that's not who I am. I'm not that guy who thinks, man, let me keep this person involved if I just do or say this or just act a certain way. Nah, I'm not doing that shit no more. I just can't. The level of, I can't say dumbing down, but I think that's almost disrespectful in a way, because I'm being disrespectful to myself. Like, dude, you know the answer to this and you know how to do X, Y, and Z. And I think that was my approach before, of making people feel needed, of making people feel wanted, because of how I thought as a fat fucker, how you thought as a fat man. And one of you guys commented the other day that, you know, your mindset only changed because your environment changed. No. My environment did not change. Pain made me change, right? But I needed, I was already changing, but that just added more fuel to it. Because like I said before, any real man that go through some shit, we don't change or grow through fucking experience or age. Only pain. Because we know what to do after we've touched that stove. And sometimes we touch it numerous fucking times until we get what we got coming. So when I wrote that journal entry last night, I wasn't coming from a place of hurt. I was coming from a place of confusion. That's like, why was I okay with being such a fat motherfucker? It's like, why did it feel safe to me? Why did it feel comfortable to me? Because it was familiar. Like, I knew what the fuck I was gonna eat. I knew what the fuck I would say. I knew the excuses that I would make. So when I had Raheem or Mark Polito or John Bosco or all these women, you know, compliment me and say shit, it's like, half of me don't know how to take it, but the other half is just like, oh shit, thank you. But I don't let it bother me to the point to where it's taking me off my goal. Ali was eating pistachios. I look at the label. I said, hey, stop eating this bullshit. He's like, it's nuts, it's healthy. I said, bro, look at the fats. Look at the calories and look at the protein. I was like, this one little bag is 225 calories with 6 grams of protein. That's not a good ratio. So he was like, motherfucker, you ain't finna be that friend. I was like, what? I said, motherfucker, you about 6'4", 400. You need a friend like me. He was like, nah, man, I'm gonna live my life. And that's true. People gonna live their life how they want to. But he's still my friend. In fact, one of my closer friends that I have, because when I went through some shit, that motherfucker was there for me. You know, and you don't find that in a lot of people, because a lot of people will take from you, but it's give and take with that guy. And I've never really seen that before in people, because people would just take and take and take. That motherfucker gives more than he take, and I try to reciprocate that because I'm a giver too. So I just wish that, I really truly wish that my mentality would catch up faster than what my body did, because now I don't have to be like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it. Most times it's just like, oh, thank you. I already know the work I put in. I know the work I continue to put in. You know, that's not a given for me. The work that I'm putting in now is more mental and emotional, because I've come to a place to where I think it's getting dangerous for me. And I can vent to y'all and tell y'all this. When you get to a point to where you really just don't give a fuck about certain things no more, that's not a good place to be, because now you're thinking more along the lines of, it could be not revenge, but it just can be that lack of care what happens in general. And I understand being outcome independent. I get that because you have to keep rolling regardless. But if something is serious going on, you, oh, I don't give a fuck. Don't make your problem my problem. I say that shit, but I'm really, really getting close to feeling and living that shit. Because deep down, I'm still gonna help you if I say, hey, don't make your problem my problem. But I'm inching closer and closer to that goal line of truly meaning that shit. Like, the thoughts and the words and the actions are literally 10 degrees from all being in alignment. And I'm truly afraid of that because it's not how people are going to perceive me from there. And it's not how I'm going to perceive myself. But what if somebody really do need help and I'm just an asshole about it? Not saying that I'm going to be an asshole, but what if I don't recognize something or a sign and I just miss it and something horrible happens? That's my fear. But at the same time, I can't save everybody. It took me forever to realize that because I'm pouring into everything and everybody else, but I ain't had shit to pour into myself because I was a nice guy, recovered nice guy, because that whole saying yes to keep peace and all that shit is gone, player. It is gone. And I know I posted a video one time. I said, hey, man, getting sexy fixed 99% of your problems. It does, but it don't. Right? It's not going to fix, if you only worked on the outer and you didn't work on your mental, your spiritual, and your emotional shit, you going to be a shitty person with just a good body. That's all. And for me to read the books that I read, for me to journal as much as I journal, for me to love as hard as I love, for me to really give all I got to certain things, it's heartbreaking at times to understand that I could have been this version of me a long time ago. That's what I meant by you mourn your time. Because I wasted so much time not becoming this person that when I became this person, now I got to look at everything hindsight 2020. But you can't control the future. You can't control nothing to do with time. You literally got to live in the moment and make the best decisions in that moment, in that time. And I wasn't making the best decisions at that moment and at that time because when I was needed the most, I wasn't there. I was there financially. I was there like physically in some points, but I wasn't available. I wasn't there emotionally. I wasn't there mentally. I had my own shit I was dealing with that I was afraid to deal with, really. And I just kept pushing and working and pushing and working so I didn't have to fucking think about it. So me being that version of myself, I was so comfortable with just knowing me because I knew me. I already knew, oh, I'll go to the gym on Monday. Yeah, I went, but I still ate like shit. And then when I did hire this lady to do my meals, she did a phenomenal job. She did my meals for me. She made sure that was macro friendly. And I kept on it for about, I think, a month because some of the people I work with, damn, man, you starting to slim up just a little bit because you eating right. But yeah. And then when I got those compliments, I went right back to ordering the sushi. I went right back to ordering all this shit that I didn't need to. Bye, little butt. I love you too. Yeah, my little butt going for her sleepover. But those were the things that I did. I would still order that fuck shit and I would still scarf it down. Not even caring, not even knowing. It's like, oh man, I just walk it off tomorrow. And then that walk slowly became me not walking. And then me lifting unstructured like slowly became me not doing anything anymore. And it was embarrassing. But things happened and I was able to change that. So I know that the title probably threw y'all off, and I know my journal entry probably threw y'all off, but that was coming from a real place. I didn't miss being 315 pounds. I just missed being in that level of comfort that I was in because that's how I knew how to operate. I knew how to avoid conflict. I knew how to not track my calories and macros. I knew how to fuck a lot of shit up. But now I don't even want to say it's pressure that people put on me. It's pressure that I put on myself. It's nothing but pressure that I put on myself. Because they not gonna notice if I gain 5 pounds. I'll notice when I got off that airplane last Sunday, I definitely went from 192 to 197. But I didn't panic because I knew it was from travel, glycogen, and shit like that. Hey, and what happens? We get right back on track. Then I get back on the scale again a couple days later, 190. It's all in what you're doing and what you know now. So you keep pushing and you keep doing a great job. regardless of the situation, you just do what you got to do. And I meant what I said. You know, we're not going back to who we were. We're going to continue to grow and develop. And this is the shit that a lot of fitness people can't tell you, because they dealt with it differently, or it took them longer to actually come around to dealing with it. Guys, it ain't no time limit on when this shit come around. You just have to roll with it, and you got to make the steps and the adjustments. You have to read, you got to journal, you got to do whatever, you pray whatever it is you pray to, and just be along for that ride, because it's a lifelong journey, not just a spiritual and weight loss journey. With that being said, don't play those fucking away games, guys.